Y'all know what it is. Y'all know who it is. It's your boy Pharaoh the Guy, always on the job. I got five, let's talk. And as always, it's real talk, raw talk. And y'all know it's that time again to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell another friend, to share, like, and subscribe. Don't hide. Welcome to another episode of I Got Five, Let's Talk, the podcast, the platform podcast, where we keep it real and fair. We ain't California raisins, we ain't doing no hating. Welcome to the War Report. Today is the day, as everybody knows, we expose Trump's lies. This war that America is being indulged in, we do not want it. We don't want it. And today I'm going to show you how America is losing the war. Trump has said a tremendous amount of things that didn't hold weight. He always spoke of the fake news. But now we're going to hear what he says, and in his own words. So today, strap on your seatbelt, because it's going to be a ride. It's going to be a ride. Trust me. With that being said, let's get into this content.
President Donald Trump is threatening an enormous attack on Iran's energy infrastructure if Tehran doesn't allow free navigation through the strategic Strait of Hormuz. CNN's Eleni Diokos joining us live from Dubai. Eleni, Donald Trump...
But before we get into that, I want to say that, as a disclaimer, I'm not a fan of war. I, the host of the platform podcast known as I Got Five, Let's Talk, we do not promote war. We do not entice war. Conversation rules a nation. Compromisation rules a nation. Not war. War and ruling do not go hand in hand. Here, especially when you're warring, trying to be a bully, and you're warring and you're trying to take things from people. That is the big difference. So I just wanted people to know that on this channel we do not promote war, nor do we are we satisfied by war. With that being said, I do want to clarify that I do believe Iran has a right to defend itself. Must you remember, because a lot of people forget, America and Israel surprise attack on Iran. Iran has a right to defend itself, and that's what I do support. I don't care who you are. You can be Mother Teresa, but if you slap the shit out of my niece, I have every right to give you a backhand. That's just how it go. That's how it go. Sorry, those are the rules, but if you hit me, I'm going to hit you back. And if you don't want to stop hitting me, then we got a fight on our hand. Damn it, that's what we have right now. And American allies are tired of it. They are tired of it. Why? Because they are now, even though no one is backing Israel but America, even though no one is backing America but Israel, all the European countries are paying for it. And I think that Trump thinks that if I make the countries have to pay the Iranians a toll just to bring their stuff through, they're going to get in on the war. So with that being said, let's see how that's going.
And threatening Iran with an enormous punch on Iran's energy infrastructure should Tehran not, quote, open the strait within 48 hours. It's not at all clear whether Iran will heed that warning. All signs are that they won't. The impact of that choke point and the effect of a shutdown in energy sites around the region continues to have a huge impact on the world economy. Asian markets will open first, of course, for Monday trade. What's expected?
We are feeling it around the world already, I think, Becky. You can see inflation inputs basically across the board, whether it's energy, whether it's, things like downstream products on jet fuel, other products across the world. I think that speaking to a lot of corporates, they're really worried about what it's going to do to earnings down the line. And this is why we're starting to see a lot of concern coming through, and even in the markets and the equities. But just focusing on President Trump's line on if the Strait of Hormuz is not opened within 48 hours, that he's going to hit and obliterate power plants, and he's going to start with the biggest power plants in Iran. So clearly giving them an ultimatum. Iran, for its part, coming out with a statement today saying that all vessels can pass through the Strait of Hormuz as long as they're not linked to what they say is the enemy. So we're talking about US and Israeli linked vessels. Now, how they apply that rule remains to be seen. We've heard just another vessel was impacted by an unknown projectile just off the coast here in the UAE in Sharjah. So we're seeing around 22 vessels that have already been impacted since the start of this war. And that, of course, creates a lot of nervousness from shippers. Iran also saying that if any of its power plants are in fact targeted, that they will retaliate, and they're focusing on desalination plants, they say US assets, as well as other critical energy infrastructure. So rhetoric definitely has been escalated. The big question is President Trump going to be happy with the line of, well, anyone can pass through the strait as long as it's not US and Israel linked vessels? And then importantly, that whoever wants to pass through the strait will have to coordinate with Iran for security guarantees. In the meantime, we have heard that 22 countries have shown interest to assist in securing the strait. How and when that will happen, still not answered. In the meantime, interestingly, over the weekend, we also heard President Trump saying that he wants to start winding down the war. So in terms of the inconsistencies we've been hearing, specifically from the United States, Becky, this now 23 days into this war, the Gulf nations have borne the brunt of what we've been seeing in these strikes against the region, specifically on critical energy infrastructure.
This threat that was issued by President Trump on Saturday Night Iran, as you saw, a very direct threat to the Iranians, saying if they do not reestablish free navigation or allow for free navigation in the Strait of Hormuz and completely reopen it, then the U.S. will potentially strike some of their energy infrastructure. Do you see this as perhaps the president really feeling that mounting political pressure that you and I have discussed for the last several weeks?
Well, it's also, it is the president either by design or impulse just sort of careening in his messaging on the war. Literally just days ago, he said incorrectly, as it turned out, but he did say that the U.S. Was not informed of the Israeli attack on Iranian energy infrastructure. And then, of course, Iran responded by attacking other energy infrastructure in the region. Iran is not a democracy. The ruling regime can absorb a lot of pain on behalf of its public in a way that is just harder for a democracy to do. So it's kind of hard to imagine that this threat is going to...
These Western medias love to say the regime. The regime. What do we have here in America? We are starting to waken up to that. We now know that it costs around somewhere in the field of $500 million to become the president. Maybe that number has changed to $1 billion. Who knows? But we also are waking up to the president's seat is a game, and America is not a country. It is a corporation. That's why you have a president. Hence the word presided. He's presiding over what? A corporation. A company. We are waking up to that now. And we are starting to see that we are living under a regime. Even though someone in the comments said, what's his name? Richard Grissom says that we leader of the free world. What free world? How is it a free world when we wake up every morning and we turn on the news or we read the paper or we get in the metaverse and we can pull up people going to jail for criticizing Israel? For criticizing Benjamin Netanyahu. What part of that is leader of the free world when you have limited free speech? You do not have the right to question certain things. You don't have the right to criticize certain things anymore. Where is that being the leader of the free world? But again, these Western medias or these Caucasian medias love to say under a regime, they are 90 million people in Iran. And if there was some debauchery going on, I'm pretty sure America will be trying to publicize that. And then again, even if it is a regime, that's their regime to deal with internally. That is a civil complaint that the civil government or the government needs to handle. Not America, not Israel. So why in the fuck did they pull a surprise attack on Iran? We are starting to see a regime in Israel. We are seeing more protests coming out of Israel against its government than we are seeing and or hearing about Iran. So if you want to talk about a regime, let's talk about it. Let's continue with this content though.
Lead to Iran to say, okay, yes, we cave and we are going to open the strait. More likely, if the U.S. follows through on this, Iran will try to take out more energy infrastructure in the region, and that could almost immediately be reflected in even higher gas prices. I mean, the president has always behaved, I think in almost every situation, as though he is the one with escalation dominance, what the military planners call escalation dominance. He decides how intense the conflict flares and when it ends, and that just does not seem to be the case right now.
If he does get free navigation in the Strait of Hormuz again, what happens then to this issue of NATO and how he's been obviously criticizing NATO allies while at the same time calling on their support? I mean, would he still need their support?
Well, again, if you think that Iran is going to completely back down and open the strait, or that we can do it through unilateral military force in some way, then he doesn't need NATO. But I think, the posture of this administration toward traditional allies has been kind of indifference at best and diffidence and actually derision at worst. And, the response of the NATO allies to this is what you might expect from those 15, 16 months of this kind of behavior. I mean, the president has, really not shown a lot of interest either in making the case to this to our traditional allies, why this was necessary to do other than Israel, and certainly not to the public at home. I mean, there's kind of been this sense that, we have the force to do this, and therefore everybody else, including the Iranians, would fall in line. And, in the end, we may get an awful lot of what we want out of this war, but we are certainly not getting it at as low a cost as he expects. And
he said that we may still get a lot of the things that we want out of this war. America, and or Israel. The allies, this is what the allies are starting to see in NATO. They're starting to say, NATO, hell no. Hold on. You don't even live in this, you don't even live on this side of the country, bro. You don't live on this side of the world, bro. So look, you fucking it up for us. That's what the allies are saying. This, bro, look, bro, you do not even live over here, bro. Chill the fuck out. You know what? Some of us are just gonna go ahead and pay this toll. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pay the toll. Why? Because we don't got shit to do with your war. We don't got nothing to do with it. And in hopes they can develop a good relationship with Iran to where Iran says, look, man, y'all still gonna have to pay the toll, but we gonna bring it down. Or y'all might have to do some trading with us.
And the biggest thing that we thought we might precipitate, which is the collapse of the regime, seems nowhere in sight. And again, President's response when pressured, almost always his first response is to escalate, to threaten more. Like, right, NATO isn't doing what he wants. We may reconsider our relations with NATO. And that is what the military planners call escalation dominance. But it does not seem to be completely in our hands at this moment.
We're now joined by Miran Kamrava. He's a professor of government at Georgetown University in Qatar. Thank you so much for being with me, sir. I appreciate it. We are now into the fourth week of this war. When you look at where things stand at the moment, do you see either side moving closer to a strategic objective, or are we simply just watching a conflict that's widening without any clear endgame?
I'm afraid we're witnessing a conflict that continues to escalate. Every day we're surprised by yet another red line being traversed. And now we're looking at this threat from President Trump saying that Iranian energy facilities and power plants will be hit. And Iran has in turn threatened to hit energy facilities here in the Persian Gulf region. And if either side carries out that threat, then we're really looking into the abyss, I'm afraid.
Joining me live to discuss all this and the ongoing situation in the Middle East is retired U.S. Marine Intelligence Officer, Lieutenant Colonel Hal Kempfer. He's the CEO and founder of the Global Risk Intelligence and Planning firm, as well as the host of the Strat podcast. Lieutenant Colonel, it's great to have you join us again. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Polo. Great to be here.
Let's assess, or let's analyze what we just heard a little while ago, especially what's coming from the White House now with President Trump issuing a very direct threat on Iran's energy infrastructure. What are the risks for the United States and perhaps partners in the Gulf in issuing this type of ultimatum for Iran? Could the regime perhaps feel cornered and increase some of its targeting?
Well, Polo, I think they're already starting to feel cornered. One of the things is this is kind of a response to what they've been doing. They've been targeting critical infrastructure in the Gulf states across the board. They've been hitting, obviously, energy infrastructure, tremendous damage in Qatar with the liquefied natural gas capabilities there, which is really vital for the world. So this is basically, kind of a response to that, saying, we'll hit your power. And the thing with the power is, and it is a kind of it's sort of a dangerous thing, but it's also kind of a logical thing. The danger is, could it alienate the Iranian people away from the U.S. and what's trying to be done there? Could it make them somehow adhere to the regime in a sort of nationalist way? The other side is they're thinking, well, they might turn off the lights, literally. And if they turn off the lights, that does make it look like the regime can't do much. So it sort of disempowers the regime's hold on the people. So it is a kind of a logical step, but I think there's a big psychological element. Keep in mind, we got a 48-hour deadline. It's not something immediate. It's something for them to ponder for the next 2 days.
If you got hit, even if you were not driving,
taking the Strait of Hormuz. 1 year.
Now, I was trying to respond to some of the comments, while everything was going on. I didn't want to stop it and keep responding. But what we saw right now, it was a glimpse of, Trump's threats of, opening up the strait, freely opening up the strait. Now what we're going to hear is, we also heard the allies are kind of like, hey, they're second guessing. And they're realizing that it is not a Trump's problem. America has its oil. America still buys oil from China and Russia. So, not to be funny or nothing, but America don't need to fucking use that fucking goddamn strait. America wants to control that strait so they could do what Iran is doing right fucking now. And that's getting paid off the strait. But that's their land though. The jig is up. Iran found out what this was all over. Oh, y'all was trying to get the strait? Y'all was trying to get money off of our land? Charge people to go through? Well, guess what? We gonna fight back because y'all attacked us first. We're fighting for sovereignty. We're fighting for freedom, justice, and equality. And for us to get paid. They said, okay, you know what? Here goes our deals. We need $100 million or whatever, how much money is to rebuild our country that y'all destroyed. America and Israel said no. Why? America gives Israel money for what happened in the Holocaust. Germany gives Israel money for what happened in the Holocaust. Their country was not destroyed. They are getting paid to build the country. So why can't Iran receive money from America and Israel? Why doesn't that governments want to give money to say, look, all right, we're gonna stop the war, we're gonna give y'all this money? Why not? Because they don't want to help rebuild the country. It's about a different agenda. And we'll see what that agenda is about.
My fellow Americans, good evening. Let me begin by congratulating the team at NASA and our brave astronauts on the successful launch of Artemis 2. It was quite something. It will be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown and will very substantially pass the moon, go around it, and come back home from a distance that has never been done before. It's amazing. They are on the way, and God bless them. These are brave people. We want to God bless those 4 unbelievable astronauts. As we speak this evening, it's been just 1 month since the United States military began Operation Epic Fury, targeting the world's #1 state spy.
And I just had to say this. I forgot that it was called Epic. Nigga, this is an epic failure. Fuck is you talking about Epic Fury? Nigga, this is an epic failure. I always say they expose themselves when they not trying to expose themselves. You name this operation Epic Fury. Nigga, this is an epic fucking failure. Fuck are you talking about? Orange peel?
Sponsor of terror, Iran. In these past 4 weeks, our armed forces have delivered swift, decisive, overwhelming victories on the battlefield. Victories like few people have ever seen before. Tonight, Iran's Navy is gone. Their Air Force is in ruins. Their leaders, most of them, terrorist regime they led, are now dead. Their command and control of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is being decimated as we speak. Their ability to launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons, factories, and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left.
Now, I pause it only for for my mob. Sticky fingers, America first. Yes, you know I'm all first, America first, and that's why I'm not ashamed to say that I am a Trump supporter, and I'm a call him out on this bullshit. This is a podcast. I don't give a fuck if I like you or not. You do some wrong, I'm a piss on you. You do some right, I'm gonna give you your flowers. But I've always said that even though I voted, I support Trump, I was a supporter of Trump, I am when it comes to America first. That's the part that I am. That's the America first I am. But when it comes to all the foreign policy shit, no. I'm not with none of that. Not even a little bit. Jesse Savanity, Jesse, if you live in America, bro, it gotta be America first, man. It got to. It got to, man. Let's run this content though, man, for a second.
Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks.
Oh, hold on. Y'all gotta give me a second because I don't want to miss it. So I am gonna pause it so I can, stay on top of everything. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pause it for right now. Give me about 5 minutes and I will be back. Hey, you're back. Let me try to hit some of these comments up, man. Don't worry about what you say in the comments, even if it's, disrespectful. Rapist Donald, I'm definitely gonna show it. nuts think Trump is going to do is make Bondi disappear. I don't know. They're all in cahoots, man. So Bondi and all of them, like, even though they talk shit about each other, they only do that. We know that they only do that to try to throw us off. But they all down for the same agenda. They all down for the same agenda. Gosh, man, we had a chance in the 80s. The second time. I'm in the middle right now for a moonshot. God bless the military. Y'all going crazy in these comments, man. I can't read them all, man. Definitely. Ma, get on the job, man. You feel me? Do your thing, man. Show all the comments, man. Don't hide nothing. So, boom. I see y'all going crazy in the comments. Definitely appreciate it, man. But hit that like button, though, man. Let's hit that like button, though, man. It's 411 people in here, man, and it's only 26 likes, man. Hit that like button, man. Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. We said thrice because it sounds nice. You know, Trump be talking shit, though. Who is that? Hard Bones channel? Yeah, you know. I mean, even when he said that the Mexicans was gonna pay for the war, I laughed at that. That was such a troll move right there. That was a classic troll. You feel me? That was a classic troll move right there. Yes, Rebecca Thompson. China yesterday gave IRGC 500. Yes, we're gonna talk about that as well. So let's get into this comment, though, man. You hit that like button, man. Hit that like button, man. Like, come on, man. Hit that like button, man. There's 300 some people up in here, man. Let's get to 100 so I can move it along, man. Hit that like button. The buttons ain't got no teeth, so go ahead and reach, man. Support the channel. Support your boy. And above all, man, support the movement. It's the War Report. Hit that like button, man. Stop playing. I'm not even gonna read the comments. Gas prices ain't going down, sticky fingers, because they ain't hitting that like button. I stand with Donald Trump as well, man. Yeah, man, I fuck Donald as well. Trump kept a whole lot of promises, man. Trump kept a whole lot of promises. Let's get that light. Let's get them lights up. Let's get them lights up. Stop playing. Let's get them lights up, y'all. Let's get them lights up so we can play this content. No, Phil, I don't stand in better with him. I stand with him when it comes to American policy. When it comes to foreign policy, he is in the gutter all by himself. Matthew Lewis, man, come on, man. You can't be mad at people. At least I'm not gonna sit up here. I'm not one of them podcasters that's gonna sit up here and lie to you. Like, you know, I mean, damn, nigga, I made a mistake. But if you go back into my content about Trump, one thing I always said about Trump is that he don't like Muslims. I'm a Muslim, man. He don't like Muslims. But when it comes to America, this is where I stand with it. You feel me? You may say some things. I mean, one thing we got to understand, I may not say everything that you may like. I'm not here to say what you like. But what I am here to do is to open our eyes about some real shit. It's some real shit. And we all have different opinions and different views. You know, at least I'm not saying, oh, you know, God bless America in this war. I'm not with none of that. Nah, man. Come on, man. Hit that like button. It don't cost you nothing, man. Give me that sub. Stop playing, bub. Pussyfoot Productions, what you talking about? Alright, what am I lying about? I don't agree with that. You smoking dope. I don't do drugs, man. Just hit this like. Okay, man, let's get away from these comments.
Enemies are losing in America, as it has been for 5 years under my presidency, is winning, and now winning bigger than ever before. Before discussing this current situation, I also want to thank our troops for the masterful job they did in taking the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes. That hit was quick, lethal, violent, and respected by everyone all over the world. After rebuilding our military during my first term, we have by far the strongest military anywhere in the world. And now we're working along with Venezuela and are in a true sense joint venture partners. We're getting along incredibly well in the production and sale of massive amounts of oil and gas, the second largest reserves on earth after the United States of America. We're now totally independent of the Middle East, and yet we are there to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything they have.
So if you don't need their oil, tell me, why did y'all surprise attack them? If you don't need the oil, what was the surprise attack for? And if you go and say, oh, it's because they need a regime change, what is people in America saying about you, Trump? You can just look at the comments right now, and the comments are saying that. Some of these people are American citizens, so how can you sit up here and say you don't need the oil and you don't need nothing from them, but you over there secretly attacking these people? You're giving ultimatums. They have 48 hours to do X, Y, and the third, but you're not a part of that area. Why do you feel that you can give an ultimatum if you don't need nothing from over there? This is where, like I say, the lies are going to be exposed. When they don't try to expose themselves, they expose themselves. First it was they got 48 hours. Oh, then we're doing this for the allies. Then it went to, oh, we don't need the strength. The allies use the strength. So at what point, Trump, do you realize and recognize that you just went over there and fucked everything up for other people? And you didn't need nothing from them. This is the foreign policy that I have a problem with, the lies. They can't come on television and just say, we want to take this shit. They have to build up lies. And just to clarify, I am okay with being a Trump supporter, or used to being a Trump supporter. I'm cool with that. I don't care about the backlash. Because guess what? I'm not a prophet and I'm not God. So guess what? I am not without flaw. I could be wrong about certain shit. But one thing I did know is that you got to keep your eyes on the motherfucking prize. One thing about a motherfucker that's getting money, they want more money. So just to be clear, I did not vote for Trump, but I did support Trump. You feel me? But this is where I get off the boat. This foreign policy agenda. You were saying that you're going to bring troops home. You're going to move out of the Middle East. You're going to focus on making America great. This is what This is, and the things that you did, the actions that you took to making America great made me get on board. But once you started the foreign policy and once you started doing X, Y, and third outside of your rabbit hole, that's when I said, oh no. Oh no. But I'm willing to sit here and share this with the community. Why? Because we gotta keep our eyes open. I never took my eyes off the nigga, but when he did it, it was like, damn, down goes Frazier. Down goes another one. You just went over there and messed everything up for them, but then you come back on live and you want the American public to believe that we don't need nothing from them, but you forgot to tell them, oh yeah, we went over there and secretly attacked them in the dead of night.
We're there to help our allies. Tonight I want to provide an update on the tremendous progress our warriors have made in Iran and discuss why Operation Epic Fury is necessary for the safety of America and the security of the free world. From the very first day I announced my campaign for president in 2015, I have vowed that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. This fanatical regime has been chanting death to America, death to Israel for 47 years. Their proxies were behind the murder of 241 Americans. And
man, motherfuckers in America say death to America. Why does it matter? Why are you bringing up America? Fuck, I don't give a fuck what they say. Nigga, why are you bringing up Israel in the same sentence with America? What the fuck? When they try not to expose themselves, they do what, chat? They expose themselves. Why is it when you say anything, you say, oh, it's a problem to America, it's a problem to Israel? We don't give a fuck about nothing outside of American jurisdiction. Let's get that through your orange head. But guess what? You do. So guess what you do? You expose yourself. You expose yourself.
The Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, the slaughter of hundreds of our service members with roadside bombs. They were involved in the attack on the USS Cole, and they carried out the countless other heinous acts, including the just horrible, bloody atrocities of October 7th in Israel, something that most people have never seen anything like it. This murderous regime also recently killed 45,000 of their own people who were protesting in Iran. 45,000 dead. For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. The most violent and thuggish regime on earth would be free to carry out their campaigns of terror, coercion, conquest, and mass murder from behind.
Since you were I definitely want to shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I definitely appreciate y'all for being here, man. I definitely appreciate it. I'm not a monetized channel, nor have I ever been, nor will I ever be, because I don't go with the flavor. I don't go with, you feel me? I don't go with the motion. I create my own motion. This channel has been banned over 8 times, 10 times, snatched, reported. So only thing I appreciate from y'all is to hit them like buttons. You ain't even got to hit the subscribe. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That don't mean that you hating on me. But what I would appreciate is you just reach out, hit that button. It ain't got no teeth, man. It ain't gonna bite you. But back to Deanna. What I'm gonna do about it now, I definitely appreciate you seeing what I was saying. But what I'm gonna do about it now is what I'm doing now. I'm exposing the lies. I'm exposing the foreign policy that I have a problem with. I'm exposing how he's lying. I'm telling you that even though I knew this nigga didn't like Muslims, I knew he was still Caucasian. He could be a part of that agenda. I gotta like, nigga, I gotta watch you. I gotta watch your every move. Especially if I'm saying I support you, nigga, you better not do nothing wrong, nigga, cause I'm on your motherfucking tall can, nigga, like a motherfucking slipper. Fuck you talking about. So I definitely appreciate you for recognizing it, but that what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna tell people how to keep their eyes open. I'm willing to be like, man, look, man, you know what I'm saying? X, Y, and the third, but now we on 1, 2, 3. Let's make it make sense. Let's make it make sense. If it's not gonna make no sense, man, what are we really doing? I can't be sharing this. I'm doing this. I'm not getting paid. I'm sharing this the way I feel and the way I think with not just like-minded people, but haters. People that's searching for knowledge. People that's searching for a way to think or even how to start thinking for self. That's what I'm here for, man. I'm not perfect, but we can find a perfect solution together. We can find a perfect way of thinking together. That's what we can do. So I definitely appreciate you, Diana, for taking the time out to understand what I was saying.
A nuclear shield. I will never let that happen, and neither should any of our past presidents. This situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been handled long before I arrived in office. I did many things during my 2 terms in office to stop the quest for nuclear weapons by Iran first, and perhaps most importantly, I killed General Qasem Soleimani in my first term. He was an evil genius, brilliant person, a horrible human being, however, the father of the roadside bomb, and he lived just horrible what he did. Iran would have been perhaps in far better, stronger position. He lived, we would have had probably a different conversation tonight. But you know what? We'd still be winning and winning big. And then very importantly, I terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, a disaster. Obama gave them $1.7 billion in cash, green cash. Took it out of banks from Virginia, D.C., and Maryland, all the cash they had. He flew it by airplanes in an attempt to buy their respect and loyalty, but it didn't work. They laughed at our president and went on with their mission to have a nuclear bomb. His Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran, and they would have had them years ago, and they would have used them. It would have been a different world. There would have been no Middle East and no Israel right now, in my opinion, the opinion of a lot of great experts, had I not terminated that terrible deal. I was so honored to do it. I was so proud to do it. It was so bad right from the beginning. Essentially, I did what no other president was willing to do. They made mistakes, and I am correcting them. My first preference was always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt at an agreement. For this reason, in June, I ordered a strike on Iran's key nuclear facilities. Midnight hammer. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Those beautiful...
Midnight hammer, midnight hammer, midnight liar. Every morning I wake up and I see 20 Iranian top official military, secret nuclear, high-tech, modern warfare. All type of these niggas die every day in Iran. But what the fuck has that slowed down? What has that slowed down, bro? From what I see, we are not talking about civilians. We are talking about people that are in the military. You are killing 20 people in military every single day. You wake up, you kill them 20, you wake up again, you got to kill another 20, so forth and so on. They have the people that are on the same agenda, so killing them apparently is not stopping anything over there. No matter what America says, what this dude is saying, What has America actually done over there that slowed the onslaught from Iran upon Israel? And now the onslaught on American bases in the region, American allies, countries and states and cities that allow American bases to be over there. America is getting a lot of people in a lot of unnecessary shit. All behind who? Israel. They've been yelling death to America and death to Israel. First of all, I don't give a fuck about what they say about Israel. I don't fucking live there. Second of all, I don't give a fuck what they say about America. Them motherfucking bastards live way across the pond, all the way into the desert. So I don't really fucking care. I don't care. It's like somebody said in the comments earlier, do you think Iran could hit us? It's plausible. I mean, but they have to go through a gang of shit. And does America have a gang of shit more than a gang of shit that a gang of shit has a gang of shit? America does. It could be plausible, but do I think it'll happen? No. So I don't give a fuck. Neither should the president of the United States give a fuck about what Iran says, death to America. So fucking what? Honky dory. I dance to that shit. Hey, death to America, death to it. Like, I don't care. This proves that there is a hidden agenda behind this war. This proves by the surprise attack of somebody not doing nothing. This proves that somebody is working for somebody. That's what's going on here. We may not agree about it, but, you know, he had 5 on it.
E-2 bombers performed magnificently. We totally obliterated those nuclear sites. The regime then sought to rebuild their nuclear program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles and would soon have had missiles that could reach the American homeland, Europe, and virtually any other place on Earth. Iran's strategy was so obvious. They wanted to produce as many missiles as possible, and they did, with the longest range possible, and they had some weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that out.
Rebecca Thompson, I'm going to play that in a second. I definitely seen your comment earlier, and I do got that in the slot to play next. I'm not gonna play this whole thing, but I just want to give a line of Trump's lying when it comes to this war and or foreign policy. First, he said they have 48 hours. This is what he said. You have 48 hours to open up the Hormuz Strait, or X, Y, and third is gonna happen. But it didn't. Oh, shucks. Where is it? Okay. But they didn't. So now you say, oh, it's the Allies' problems. Therefore, clarifying that you don't even give a fuck about what you just started over there. You don't care about how them people, you just went over there and you just cost them people, you just turned everything they had going upside down for your agenda or for somebody else's agenda. That's like that's the messed up thing about all of this. It's other people that are having to pay for what Trump is actually doing over there. It's not, it shouldn't be like that. I'm thinking, okay, they gonna let them be in the, whatever they doing. But no, this is another president instituting what other presidents that came before him did. Start a war in the Middle East. Go take some land and some oil. So since Rebecca was talking about the 500 missiles, and Trump is talking about how he just did this to Iran and did that to Iran, well, what he fails to actually say is that a lot of Iranian drones are being built in Russia. So why, what does it mean you're bombing facilities? Empty bunkers? Drones is being made in Russia. Russia bringing military. Now let's see what China gave up. China has now entered the side on Iran. But what about who's coming to the side of America? Who's coming to that side? Riddle me that. Who's coming to the side of America? The Allies are giving up. The U.S. troops are catching failing drug tests in the U.S. Army and Navy in order to get kicked out of the Navy and Marines, because they don't want to go to war behind this. But this is what you signed up for. You said, I'm gonna go sign up in the war because I don't never have to go to war. Bingo, gringo, you gotta go this time. This is also the difference between American troops and Iranian troops. Like I said, you wake up every morning, 20 top officials gone overnight, precisely attacked and assassinated, obliterated, decimated. He's no longer. But soon as you report that, you gotta report them seats just been filled. What I am saying is the Iranian troops and the Iranian military have people that are still in military form. America and these people, nah, that's hard to believe. That is very, very hard to believe. Why? Come on now. You know Americans ain't trying to go to war behind this shit. They not trying to do none of this. They not trying to do none of that. Well, hold on, let me find this.
Now we got more news coming through as we welcome you back, viewers. Even as China has officially denied direct arms deals, many have questioned its role amid Iran's defensive rebuilding of air and missile defense. And in the face of US-Israel war, Iran's capabilities still rely heavily on domestic adaptation and other partners like Russia. And according to the intelligence note accessed exclusively by News 18, much of the Chinese cooperation involves components, access, or negotiations rather than confirmed large-scale deliveries due to sanctions and geopolitical risks. I'll just go walk out to Akanksha joining us with more, and then we'll walk back as Tom Cooper and Adrian Fontanellas are with us. Ambassador Meera Shankar also with us. Yes.
So I'm just getting in these inputs, which I'm going to read out to the viewers. CM-302 supersonic anti-ship cruise missiles, which is an export variant of China's YJ-12, was in fact shared with Iran, primarily used as a carrier, killer or high-speed anti-ship weapon to target large naval vessels. This could very well be the technology that they are deploying right now in the Strait of Hormuz, Anand, including aircraft carriers, destroyers and other warships. Negotiations in fact happened last year, and 500 kgs of warhead, sea skimming. These missiles are in fact 290 to 460 kilometers in range. They were all sent off to Iran. This represents one of the most advanced systems potentially transferred recently, enhancing Iran's ability to threaten naval forces, US carriers in the Persian Gulf and Strait of Hormuz. That is the technology that they are deploying right now. And so,
are they really deploying that technology? That's one question. The Chinese have supplied this is one aspect.
But they are able to destroy the vessels, which is why a lot of conversations are now revolving around.
Man, fuck that yapping. Man, I don't give a fuck. I'm American, nigga. She feel me? She on some bullshit. What the fuck she talk about, man?
On China's reaction to military strikes launched by US and Israel.
Yeah, anyway, I can't find one of them right now, man. But this is something that America is divided on. Even in the comments, you will see that, oh, you know, Trump #1, leader of the free world. At cost. Let's be real here. Let's not shy away from what it is costing us as everyday civilians. Honestly speaking. Having to pay higher for gas because America and Trump and his cronies wanted to attack somebody. Like, you know, food and shit prices is going out, spiraling out damn near out of control. You know, other countries now threatening to pull out of NATO and showing their displeasure with Trump and Israel and their agenda. Because see, I believe the European nations have a different agenda. They have their own problem going on. And you might say, Pharaoh, well, what is that problem? That problem, my friend, is the war in Africa. The European problem is Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, South Africa, Ghana. There is a number of countries in Africa that have kicked out the French, the Canadians. Basically, they kicked out all the white people. And they said, if you want contracts in our country, they're going to be on our terms. Because they've always been on the Canadian terms, the French terms. We have always seen countries say out their mouth how poor Africa is but yet they keep their eyes on Africa and fill their pockets with what Africa has to give. And these times are changing in Africa. Shout out to Ibrahim Traore. These times are changing. And this may be the reason why France is not so active. They have to worry about getting their diamond mines and their gold mines back from Burkina Faso. America has its agenda already, and that agenda is to back up Israel. Whatever plan they had, whatever in cahoots, whatever hooks they got in each other, whatever the conspiracy theory is, what we do know is every time you say something about Israel, America, here comes America. We know that. We definitely know that. Let's try to get to some of these comments, man. All night and Nick. I don't think they're playing blocking for Europe because Europe has, like I said, Europe, what I'm just speaking on, Europe has its own thing going on. They have their own thing going on. They have to worry about Burkina Faso being the number 4 producer of gold in the world. They just lost that. And now the European Caucasian stronghold of Africa is being shaken to its core. Because country after country after country is actually sliding into the Sahel states, actually agreeing to a different venue coming out of Africa. They are actually thinking about and formulating ideas of the benefits Pan-Africanism can actually bring their country. Some of them may be thinking their pockets, but those that are thinking their pockets, they're going to be exposed. And the ones that don't take that route to stand up for Pan-Africanism and to kick the colonizers out of their country, they're going to be the ones that's going to be allowing these countries, the ones that's going to be allowing America to make bases on. Oh, we need to help to protect y'all. Pan-Africanism is not a scary thing. We have always seen Pan-Europeanism, Pan-Americanism. We have seen all type of isms, but when it comes to blackism, it has always been a problem. And I think that's another thing. You know, France is telling America, like, hey, you're not helping us in Africa, so why should we help you with Iran? Riddle me that. Why should I do that? There is no reason for them to do that. James, as long as you hold a mobile phone in your hand, you have no right to speak about Africa's, or I guess you was just saying Africa. Let's just make this one thing clear. that people would say like, oh, if you hold a phone in your hand, you have no right to speak about Africa, you know, the gold mines, the slavery, all that. What do you think the Africans are doing now that they're taking over the gold mines? You think that they'll stop digging for lithium? Do you think that they'll stop digging for cobalt? Do you think they're gonna stop selling these products to support Tesla? Do you think they're not gonna utilize what's in the ground? It was only wrong. The iPhone and the cars and the lithium batteries were only wrong because the people, those that deserve to get paid off of it, were not getting paid off of it. The foreign policy of Europe and America is fucked up. Because no one would allow somebody to come to America and siphon all its resources and leave that surrounding area desolated. They're not gonna do it. So for France, America, Germany, Belgium, Canada, all these countries to be in Africa and never developed Africa, that's the real problem. And like I said before, that's the real war no one wants you to talk about. If you remember, when Ibrahim Traoré first came on the scene, remember, oh, he was getting love. He was everywhere. It was all type of news coming out of Burkina Faso about how good he was. And then started to come the assassinations. And then he started to get bigger. And then they tried more bold assassinations. And they failed again and again and again. And guess what's going on now? They shut it down. They shut it down and started a war so they could go into Africa quietly and start these insurrections, these insurgents to get power now. Remember, who was the cause of a lot of the fuckery and insurgency that was going on in these third world countries? Victor Bout, or Bout, whoever's saying his name, the Merchant of Death. Remember, he was screaming death to America. Remember, he was selling weapons to terrorists against America. But they gave this man back to Russia. Russia didn't lock him up. Russia let him go free. Now we are seeing the rise of the insurgency in these same countries. These countries have been trying and developing. Now that Victor Bout is out, look what's going on in Africa. Throw this big war on the screen so we could go back into Africa and build up these insurgents and say it was them and they just had bad luck with growing their country. Like, what the fuck? But that's the war they don't want you to see. Why? Because it's a black thing. And yes, they traded her for that dumbass Griner. But look how it works. Like I always say, they expose themselves when they don't try to expose themselves. Remember, black people was coming out. She didn't come out her first with an LGBTQ 123 plus sign on. She came out in the red Crenshaw shirt, screaming black support. She ain't even from Crenshaw. But guess who took over that whole angle? The LGBTQ community. Then guess what? Soon as they started to preach for her, right? They started to vouch for her. Wanted to get her home. Soon as she came home, what did she do? She became a man. At least she's trying to. Must I remind you what happened in Berlin in 1925? With the one doctor that started now they're pushing the transgenderism and homosexual acceptance onto everybody. They came home, chopped her shit off, got her looking like a dude, knowing she out here trying to call herself Pops. But let out a fucking murderer. They let go a motherfucker that was screaming death to America and was showing that he meant it by selling guns and weapons to terrorists that hated and vouched and vilified their hatred for America. But yet this motherfucker was released. And you think I'm supposed to just, oh yeah, he's just somewhere living lavish, not selling weapons of mass destruction. This motherfucker manipulated damn near every government. This motherfucker was buying old government vehicles. And this is how he was getting his weapons around in countries. Oh, I'll just hop in this vehicle right here. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. You think I'm supposed to believe with all these and all the money that he was making, he's just gonna stop? You want me to believe he just got free and he stopped, but I can't believe a nigga that did 25 years just got out the feds. I can't believe he changed his life around. The government don't think so. That's why they keep watching him, but they ain't watching him. This is how fucked up foreign policy is. People want to know about foreign policy. Let's talk about foreign policy. Foreign policy is trash. Black people were coming out for it and all that too, but that got silenced by the 123 community. Nah, they didn't keep her in a man's prison. They kept her with women. Big old burly real dykes. No, Sean. No one said nothing about that. They swept it under the rug. You know why? Because they had an agenda coming out. Hence what we're talking about right now. We need the man that knows all the moves. You seen it done with El Chapo. How the fuck you think El Chapo was able to escape out of prison? You don't think the DEA, the American motherfucking alphabet community, had some help in that? They needed him in Sinaloa. And once he started to do the super meth lab, what happened? They said, oh yeah, bro, I don't think this gonna work. I don't think this gonna work. So they got him. And when they found out how really strong he was, the DEA said, oh yeah, we got something for you. You a motherfucker that could really get away. This is out. The only thing you can do now is work for us and your wife and your kids won't be fucked over. Cause now, you know, like, it's just crazy, bro. Cause when they did it, they was on him. When he broke out the second time, they was on him. It proved his manpower, but that also proved how powerful they made him. This is foreign policy, though. That's why Trump's kicking ass and telling NATO kick rocks, so they know she was in a man's prison. Smack. To tell you the truth, let's talk about it. I got 5, let's talk. Now, I don't give a fuck what they tell you about NATO. America needs NATO just as much as NATO needs America. And that's slim. America pulled the wool over the eyes of the allies in NATO way back in the days. Why? Because America was top dog. Now, people are like, you know what, America, you got too many people. They don't like you no more. You're too hot. So I think I'm going to pull back. This is why Israel is being pulverized the way it is being pulverized. Because the only ally it has is America. And they thought with their wrong assumptions that they could drop bombs, blow shit up, and kill people, and that would be the end of it. They didn't count on Iran elevating everything that they fucking knew. They didn't count on that. They counted on we had these motherfuckers on sanctions for decades. They ain't got it like that. And Iran showed them something new. That's what Iran did. So to say, you know, Trump is kicking ass and telling NATO to kick rocks. Nigga, Trump needed that strait. He wanted to control that Hormuz Strait. The Strait of the Hormuz. He wanted to control it. But guess what happened? It backfired on him. He ain't kicking ass because it ain't open. He ain't kicking ass because guess who has to pay for it? The allies. The same people that he says we're friends with, and then turns around and says that's their fucking problem. No, sir, that's your problem, and you started it. But to show you how much we don't give a fuck, we might just start paying that toll. Because guess what? You're gonna be the only one that can come through. I come from an island and wanted to see the allied countries run to the U.S. for protection. And China, I wish to make a move. As you ground conference. Nah, James, you don't have to retreat. This is the dialogue. We have to get this dialogue out. I always say conversation rules a nation, but also compromisation rules a nation. The only way you can get to compromise is if you have dialogue. The only way you can have dialogue is if compromisation is in the conversation. I might be wrong. My point of view might not click to you. You might say something in your point of view or might help my point of view. But that's what we're here for. We're here to have dialogue. We're here to be on the same agenda to say, you know what? I recognize the same cow shit because it ain't strong enough to be bullshit. And they keep feeding us cow shit and they keep telling us this bullshit. It ain't one and the same. We ain't taking it. But I do hope you hit that like and that subscribe button though, James, though. You know, it would mean a lot. Smack the donkey, yes, the Middle East is changing. And I think the Middle East is changing without the fear of retaliation from America. You have to think like now, places like China and Russia are getting bigger. I'm not saying America is not a big dog still. I'm not saying that. America's still big dog. But the way America goes about it being a big dog, it's getting old. And quite frankly, nobody's putting up with it anymore. Because guess what they realize? We don't have to sell our shit to you. We don't. There's other countries willing to take the risk. They buy it from us. It's like buying dope. I sell you the dope. I don't give a fuck how you get it back to your spot. I sold it to you. Motherfuckers are waking up in different countries and different continents and saying, you know what? I don't need the American bully no more, because guess what? Ain't nobody scared of you no more. Nobody is scared of you. And now that Burkina Faso has control of their gold, and they're friends with Iran, they're friends with China, they're friends with Venezuela, they're friends with Russia. Iran have ways to get their shit out the country. I don't think America wants war with China if they're buying something from Iran. And I don't think they want product. Like, it just goes, there are countries that are arising, that are seeing, and man, they don't, man, fuck America. Not like fuck America, but bro, check this out. You keep doing what you're doing. I think I'm gonna pass on this. This double back, I might see what I could do for you. I'm reading the book right now. America, nigga, Trump like, wait, what? How dare you tell me you're reading a book right now? Yeah, nigga, I don't need your fucking help. And close the door on your way out. Nigga, that's what's baffling people. And they don't want to believe that these other countries are ready to tell America, what was that saying you used to tell us? Kick rocks? Yeah, kick rocks, bro. We don't need you right now. I don't see no allied country turning to the U.S., Dennis. Not at all. Yes, James. See, that's one thing I can agree with you on that. As a Trump supporter, I can honestly say that, you feel me, that this nigga is off dribble. This nigga is traveling. This nigga is flagrant fouling. You feel me? Get this nigga tech too. But we can say that's what you're supposed to say. When you see your leader or when you see a person you support, I didn't mean to call him a leader because the nigga damn sure not my leader. But when you see a person you support, you don't hide what the fuck they're wrong that they're fucking doing. You don't say, oh, well, you know, we're America, that's what we do. No, bitch, that's what we're trying to stop from continuing doing. And if you're wrong, on this podcast, I don't give a fuck if I support you or not. Move the wrong way, I'ma piss on you. But move the right way, and I'm going to speak how good of a person you are, and you made the right decision. I have a right and a left. You're going to catch it from both sides. I'm a fair opportunist. I'm a California bear, not a California raisin. I don't do no hating. James, not right now. You know, I was getting banned, shadow banned. I was getting my page took a lot, man. And when I first started, I had some merch. You know, I was doing certain little things, but you know, I was getting shadow banned, man. And sad to say, I was spending money on stuff that I ended up just basically giving away. Now that I'm seeing that they're kind of lifting the shadow band and, you know, they're throwing me back in the algorithm, I will be having shirts, you know, the regular shit coming soon, shirts, and hoodies coming soon, t-shirts, you know, the regular shit. But also, man, you can follow me on Instagram at I Got 5 Let's Talk. And stay around, man. You know, I will be having merch for output though, for sure, for sure. Ray H8254, exactly. No, I mean not exactly, but America isn't a big dog no more. It's still a big dog because it has. You want to go upstairs, baby girl? Yeah. It's still a big dog because people know what America can. People know what America can do. People know what America can do. People know how gritty America can be. But also people know that a lot of innovation and forward thinking does come out of America. So America has always been put on the top shelf, even in a bad way, as long as in the good way. Because it was a person that said, you know, us MAGA supporters don't need your help. He was telling me that the MAGA supporters don't need my help. And I told him, I said, do you actually know the meaning of MAGA? The meaning of Make America Great Again. America was only great when Black Convention was going on. America was only great because of the black man who mastered the airplane, the black man who did the car, the black man who did the telephone, the black man who did the light bulb, the street light, the street lamp, the shoe, come on now. This is when he's making reference to blacks to get them. People don't know that. It's a play on both sides. It was an acronym for both people. That was very smart. People didn't see the play on that. Make America great again for sure. Let the honkies take it. Let the rednecks take it. They're gonna read, this is America. But then the people that are wise are gonna say, when America was great again is when Black Wall Street was around. When we were inventing shit. When we brought Cadillac out of the slums during the Great Depression. When black money was so sought after that it actually survived the Great Depression and actually helped to get out of the Great Depression. But they won't talk about that. But those that know, they're going to say, yeah, make America great again. Because that's what Trump was running on. Bringing that American flavor back, that we're not only on some racial shit, but nigga, we are the best. But then he dropped the ball. Beginning of the fourth quarter. And it's a long fourth quarter. I'm sorry to say it. And the fourth quarter has been real damaging for Trump. Name an innovative thing. I just gave you them. The stoplight, the shoe, the washing machine, the light bulb, electricity, the ironing comb. These are innovative things. The street lamp. Come on, James. Stop playing, bro. You starting to sound like one of them Neanderthals. James, are you white? You gotta be white, James. Saying name an innovative thing that came from the USA. You gotta be white. Doesn't need America's economy, bro. See what fucked the world up is when America told when America structured economy internationally. When America told Africa, everything that y'all grow, y'all gotta sell. Everything we grow in America, we gotta sell outside. That's where it became fucked up, because if you looked at Venezuela, they had everything. They was growing everything and had oil. But what did they start doing? They started importing everything that they had there. Nigga, you got an orange, I got an orange. What the fuck I gotta import your orange for? But that's what America did. Why? Because America don't grow shit. America don't grow enough for the world. It doesn't. So what America does is it looks to Africa and it says, hey, that shit right there you growing? Yeah, we gonna need to buy that. Oh, you don't want to? Well, let's restructure this shit. And that's how the economy works. Even though it's stupid. If people use their own economical power, meaning the shit that they have on their own land, don't nobody need anybody. Now, if you want to barter some shit and it's different. Okay, smack the donkey, I'm tripping. Man, by black people, James, would you knock it off? What's wrong with being a communist? What's wrong with being a communist? Like, what's wrong? Like people you have been embedded with thinking a certain way, and it's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with it. If that's what you want to believe, that's cool. I'm not the person leading America into damnation. I'm not the person that's worried about a country talking about death to America that's hundreds and thousands of miles away. I'm not the person that made your country miss the exclusive deal with Saudi Arabia to where you can only get Saudi Arabia if you got American dollars. I'm not the guy that was influenced to miss that deal. That was Trump. How do you miss a deal that's been going on since 1953? Exclusive rights to the oil. In order for anybody to buy Arabian oil, they had to do so in American dollars. But Trump didn't say, hey, we got a deal coming up. What's going on? What we doing? He did nothing to try to reconstruct or help that deal. That deal went straight to China. And now China has exclusive rights. And if you want to buy Arabian oil, you have to do so in the Chinese yuan or yen, whatever it is. No disrespect, no pun intended. Trump thought he was going to be able to go to Venezuela and kidnap the president and American bully the whole country into giving him the oil. And oh yeah, we're going to snatch the president, take their oil, and we're going to scare the shit out of the next president, and they're going to give us the oil. I'm not the guy that thought that was a good idea. Whoever the fuck told him that, whoever the fuck told him it was a good idea, whoever the fuck influenced him to do that shit. So yeah, he went over there and kidnapped somebody, stole some oil, thinking it was going to be all good. Now they said, well, guess what? Since you did that, you war criminal, guess what I'm going to do? We already owe China $60 billion. We in debt to China $60 billion. So guess what I'm gonna do? You can't stop this international deal. So guess what I'm gonna do? Exclusive rights to China. Buy this oil. What China been doing? Backdoor selling it to Iran or backdoor doing whatever the fuck you need to do. Who the fuck influenced Trump to miss out or make those wrong moves? Trump, I liked Trump as a businessman. That's not the smart business deal. That's not what you do. How in the hell do you miss these deals? How the hell do you miscalculate this? How the hell do you miscalculate this war? Somebody and some entity is misinforming Trump to where we getting put in a bad spot. Everything that Trump is doing is to damage the future of America. If he continues wars and continues to back Israel and go to war for Israel, that will cause us a civil constraint, which will bring about a civil complaint. No, I didn't say a civil unrest or a civil, none of that. I said a civil complaint. So don't get to say I'm inciting anything. I said people are going to have a civil grievance. They're going to complain about the situation, which in turn may or may not lead to some unpositive behaviors. I don't want to see that. And I don't think none of us want to see America get turned upside down for another country, for another agenda. But open your eyes and just ask, what made Trump miss the deal with Arabia? What made Trump go over there and kidnap Maduro, or however the fuck you say his name? What made Trump conspire with Israel to attack Iran in the middle of the night? As it unfolds, it's clear to say that Israel, this is Israel's little concoction. This is Israel's little war. And that's putting America in a bad light. Why? Because this is the theory that everybody is becoming to believe is true. We know certain entities control the media. Why is all this coming out about American elites? American senators and all this coming out about Americans believing in Baal and Moloch. Why we ain't hearing about the other people, other countries? Somebody is doing damage from within America. They're destroying America from within, but people don't see it. Why so much bad information is coming out about American elites? To me, that's only bad publicity. That puts America in a bad light. On top of that, we don't have exclusive rights now to oil. On top of that, our president is known as a kidnapper. On top of that, our president is known as a pirate. On top of that, our president attacked Iran in the middle of the night for no reason. On top of that, America's fighting Israel's war. Like, what's really going on here? Smack the donkey, $60 billion ain't shit. But when you owe a country $60 billion and you can't stop international trade because they have a debt with you, that's how you make the kidnapper mad. Oh, you thought you was gonna kidnap him and get the oil? Well, we already have a deal you can't stop. So guess what? We're gonna just give them exclusive rights. It may not be shit, but that little kidnapping just stopped America from getting some good ass oil. And they said Venezuela has more oil reserves than anywhere else in the world. When will America learn that diplomacy, real diplomacy, can work? And if it doesn't work, you keep being diplomatic. You have no right to go over there and stronghold, kidnap, and drop bombs on nobody just because you don't like what they doing. Motherfuckers can't come to America and do that. I don't think America has ever won a war neither, especially not no ground war. I think America start wars they can't win because obviously, James, you must be from another country. And that's the reason why America start wars they can't win, because other countries and outside of America knows the truth. America has been saturated with fake news. America has been, within the last 20 years, America has been saturated with bullshit. So when America loses a war, they can come on TV and say, yeah, man, we just beat the shit out of China. And the American people gonna say, yeah. They're not gonna go look the facts up. America didn't have to win wars. They just had to win the hearts of their people. That's all. Even though everybody knows they lost in Vietnam, what happened? The bill still got passed. The people were still scared. They still got the people in their corner out of all them deaths. It's not about that. It's about the agenda. Yes, they won the hearts off of lies. It's like the same thing with the illegal immigration that's going on right now. Biden and them let them in here. The Democrats let the illegal immigrants in here because they needed votes. They were losing the popularity they were losing their popularity within the black community. The Democrats were. They were losing it. People were starting to see, and this is that information that I'm telling you about. That information that was being put out there, that was putting these American elites in a bad light, and they started with the Democrats. So when you ask that question, but they won the hearts, you have to think about what they're doing now. They won those hearts, so now they're bringing in new hearts to win. They want new voters. They're going to get new voters from lies, the same tricks. Why? Because they think it could happen to them. They don't believe it could happen to them. And now when it happens to them and they look at certain groups that it happened to, they just put their arms up and be like, well, you told me I was lying. You told me I was tripping. Now you see I'm not tripping. This is what they're doing. The people that are in America, it's like a good 60-40, 70-30 almost, to where the vast majority of people are waking up to America's bullshit. They need new people, new gullible people to come in. And with that, they hope that they could win the hearts again. They won't tell you about what's going on and how the world is turning in Africa. They won't go and tell you that the true reason why the allies are pulling out of NATO or not helping America. They're not going to tell you that, Israel has been doing too much since 1948. These are the things they're not gonna tell you. So when they don't tell you those things, something's wrong here. I beg to differ, James. You say they won nothing. Why do you think America is so racist? If they didn't win the hearts of people, why do you think America is so racist? America is racist as fuck. And that proves that they won the hearts, because America was on the verge of becoming an actually pretty cool country. Until a gang of shit started up. But I feel you. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and take some questions, see what y'all got on y'all mind, man. I'm definitely finna close it down. So before I do that, man, I do want y'all to hit that like button, subscribe if you find the content interesting, even if you don't believe in it, just something new. Support the channel. Like I always say, I'm not monetized. I'm not doing this to support one side. I'm not doing this to, be biased. I'm doing this, to actually say what Americans are actually thinking. So that's my angle. So I appreciate the likes, I appreciate the indulgement, and I appreciate if you tell a friend to tell a friend.
How old is the little girl that did her hair? 15. Yeah, that's what her trip, huh? Cruising. I love you too, baby.
Let me ask y'all this, chat. Who y'all think gonna win this war? Y'all think Iran gonna give up? Or y'all think America gonna bow out? What y'all think, chat? I definitely appreciate you, James, man. Even you not agreeing with me, bro. I appreciate the respect for the platform, the podcast. I appreciate the respect, for me, if there's any. But I'm not a hater, man. If you don't agree with me, or if it's 50-50, whatever it is, man, you welcome to this platform. You welcome to this podcast. I don't block comments, man. They only help me get a better understanding of what I'm saying, and to help me internalize what I said. Because when I do look at the comments, and I do go back, and I do look at everything, and bye-bye. I love you, Jory, baby.
That's everything you came with?
So, I definitely appreciate it, man. Trump says a lot. Trump says a lot, man. When it comes to Trump, it just was, you can't believe nothing he says. And this is how you, when a person lies about a war so profusely, it can't be going that way. It can't be cool and cool. It just can't. I definitely appreciate it, man. I think my difference of opinion comes from just being one of the people that I just want to know what my enemy says about me. I want to know what you really talking about. You know what I mean? Like, is what you're saying really true? And then from there, I just tend to see things different. Because they only gonna tell you so much. Real talk. They only gonna tell you so much. But like I said though, man, I'm down for the comments for about another like 10, 15 minutes. Let me know. I had to go get me one of them tacos. You know what I mean?
I'll tell Ty to come and bring you some out if you're still out here. When he comes in the house. Okay.
I kind of don't understand your comment, James. The last two, if you don't mind clarifying. Yeah, like, it don't make no sense. You won, but you still fighting. You won, but you still sending threats. Yeah, we killed out their military, their army, their navy, but they still dropping bombs. They still waking up. We killed out everybody, their top officials, but they still have people calling the shots. It's the lies for me. The profusely lying. Like just How y'all feel about what's the nigga name? Mayor Madani? The nigga who mama was in the pedophile, the Epstein files? ain't gonna lie, that motherfucking taco was fire. I should have got like 2 or 3 of them bitches. That motherfucker had the jalapeno going down the middle of that motherfucker, stuffed with rice and beans. Oh, that motherfucker was fire. That motherfucker was fire. I ain't even gonna hold you. Let me know what y'all talking about, man. What y'all are. If y'all don't mind telling me where y'all watching from, man, you feel me? Those that indulged, you know what I'm saying? Let me know where y'all watching from. And let me know who's like, not whose side y'all on, but let me rephrase the question. Does Iran have a right to defend itself? Meaning, since America attacked it, would it be wrong for Iran to attack America? And or is it wrong for Iran to be attacking American bases? I don't think so. I think they got all right. Yeah, but he lied, bro. He lied. And he a Muslim, and I'm a Muslim. He lied. He came out talking all this shit about Trump, talking all this shit about people in the Epstein files. And then come to find out, he could be one of Epstein's children or one of the Epstein gang's children. His mom was there, and we know what they were doing to females there. No pun intended, but moms probably wasn't passing around. Yes, I do think they have the right. Glory wins. I do think Iran has the right to retaliate and defend itself. They were attacked for no reason in the dead of night. Mind you, out of this war, America and or Israel dropped a bomb on an all-school girl in Iran. They don't want to talk about that though, huh? Don't want to bring that up though, huh? Thank you, Ray H. I agree with you, man. Like I said before, I don't give a fuck if Mother Teresa was still alive. And I was walking down the street with my little niece, and Mother Teresa slapped the shit out of my niece. I'm giving that old bitch all back knuckle. Hard as fuck, too. On fathers. I'm backhanding the dog shit out of Mother Teresa. How dareth ye put your handeth upon my nieces? I am appalled. Taketh this a backhandeth to the faces. Right now is the... What? Definitely, that's the number one rule. Defend yourself. Defend yourself. Straight up. And whoever doesn't think they have a right to defend themselves is a goddamn asshole. Like real talk. See what they talking about on here. I think after this little clip, man, I might go ahead and...
Anel Shalin is a former official at the State Department who resigned in protest at Joe Biden's policy with respect to Gaza. She now works at the Quincy Institute, and she joins me now. Anel, welcome back to the show. We've had you on twice already since the start of this war. From the start, you've been saying it would be a disaster for the US. Is today's downing of an F-15 fighter jet just more evidence of how badly this is going?
Yes, it is more evidence. It's also more evidence of how we shouldn't really believe much of anything Trump says, because he very recently said that the US and Israel had wiped out all of Iran's capacity to take out U.S. aircraft or Israeli aircraft, and clearly that is not the case. So, yeah, it's, they've apparently so my understanding is with an F-15, one of the individuals is the pilot and the other manages the weapons, and so I don't know which individual had been rescued, but there is one individual that has not yet been accounted for and very likely has been captured or potentially didn't survive the ejection. I mean, we don't know. One American has been rescued, apparently, but it is so. It's just so ridiculous that this continues to happen. Not only that now we have an American potentially either dead or kidnapped or soon to be kidnapped, but also that Trump's preparing ostensibly a ground invasion, which, I mean, just yes, everything is going extremely badly, and it looks like Trump wants to set up the United States for things to go even more badly.
And we were just talking about that. I don't know if it was you, James, or Ray, but we were just talking about that America, name of war, America won or something. And I think this would be a grave mistake of Trump, putting troops on the ground. America could brag about the Navy SEALs toppling governments and all that. That was all cool when you scared everybody. That was cool when you was able to infiltrate and you pay somebody off, but that's wearing off now. Niggas ain't playing with America like that no more. Big facts, Ray H. Big facts, big facts. Let's want some of this kind.
Do you think a ground invasion is plausible? I mean, the argument that it might happen is that clearly the air campaign isn't working, and Trump doesn't want to admit defeat. So that's the argument as to why, maybe they will go for it. The argument against him doing it, though, I still find it a bit stronger, which is that it would be such a catastrophe and so many Americans would die that Trump wouldn't agree to it. But what are you thinking on that question?
Yeah, since it went to the commercial, what I am going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and call this one a wrap. In retrospective, today's podcast edition, people are seeing through Trump's words. They're seeing that he's a consistent, profusous liar. They're seeing that he doesn't have the correct assessments. And they are seeing that he is being driven by an agenda that doesn't serve America. And I don't think that sits real well with the allies, because the allies have always been under the tutelage that America puts America first. Now, a lot of these other countries might have their own problems with Israel or whatever, or they don't. Who knows? But I think once these allies start seeing America's agenda and allies take a back seat, and you only listen to one ally and you push that agenda and you push it hard, what do you need me for? You're not even mentioning me in the room anymore. You guys go to the restaurant and you shut the restaurant down. You don't even allow me to get in the restaurant no more. But you say we on the same team. If that's the case and that's the team that we playing, I don't want to be a part of that. And the allies are starting to waking up, and they're starting to see that America is pushing an agenda that apparently doesn't serve America. And the American people are saying the same thing. And like I say, when they don't try to expose themselves, what they do, chat, they expose themselves. With that being said, I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart for all the indulgement, all the likes, all the banter, all the trolling. I appreciate it. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend to share, like, and subscribe. Don't hide. Y'all know what it is, y'all know what it ain't. Y'all know what it is, y'all know who it is, man. It's your boy Pharaoh the Guy, always on the job. I got 5, let's talk. And as always, it's real talk, raw talk. And it's that time again to bring another episode to a close. Again, man, salute to everybody for rocking with me, man. Peace, love, happiness, and always remember, man, take care of each other. And if you can't do that, take care of your motherfucking self. We out.